let's talk about effective technical teamwork. This is a question that really comes up a lot in the Bay Area or other technical regions about, what are the things that you need to do to hire the best people and how do you create the most effective team? And I think one of the most misunderstood aspects of teamwork, at least scientifically, in the research that I've shown, is the fact that talent is one aspect, but it's not the most important aspect of an effective team. And there's a great book on this by Larson and LaFasto, and they cover 8 ideas of what it takes to be effective in terms of a team. And the first one is a clear elevating goal. So if you're creating a team, you need to have something that's really clear and it's also elevating. So, we're going to solve poverty, or we're going to, educate this population, or, we're going to have clean energy. These are all these, very clear and specific goals they're elevating to the people that are working on it. If there is no goal, it's really hard to have an effective team. The second thing is results-driven structure. And this is really where things like nepotism, cronyism, who likes somebody else versus another, all the politics are destructive in terms of a team. It needs to be results oriented. So you set a goal, are the people achieving the goal, and are you measuring the steps that they're taking? And that has to be the core component of an effective team. Another one is the competent team members. And, there's many examples of this in politics and sports and in industry where you don't have somebody that's competent and there's really tragic things that happen. And so this is a very important aspect of a team, is that you do need to have a basic level of competency or your team will be ineffective. Another one is unified commitment. So is everyone really on the same page, or are there some people that are checked out or they're retired in place? You have to be unified in the problem that you're solving, or there could be real big problems in your team because everyone else is working on this one problem, but maybe a subset of the team is just disgruntled or they want to get another job. And this can really be toxic. Another environment is collaborative climate. And in terms of a team, if the upper level leadership and then the people that are on the team are really supportive of everyone and they're making it so that teamwork is rewarded, then you're going to have a very collaborative environment. And those are the best teams I've ever been on. But if it's a toxic environment where people are set up against each other, or the upper management is against the line worker, then you could really have a bad situation where, let's say there was some harmful information that was discovered, and then the line workers don't want to show the boss this information because it's not a collaborative environment. So that could lead to a bad outcome. Another good example is standards of excellence. So standards of excellence means that everyone agrees what good is, right? So the good could be, we want to get everyone tested for this pandemic, and we want to have 4 tests a day, and you can see this in examples in sports industries. But if you have a poor standards of excellence, then no one knows what good is. And that really can be a problem in creating an effective team. And we see examples of this in the real world. External support and recognition. So this means that the upper level management recognize when people are going above and beyond, and they're supporting the teammates in actually achieving their goal. You can also see this in sports as well, where there's somebody that's supporting someone by passing the ball, or creating an environment that someone can thrive in. So this is a critical component of an effective team. Now, principled leadership is probably the other one that's the last aspect of an effective team. That means that the leader has to have character, right? That they're not doing things that are illegal or immoral, that they're actually doing things in a principled way, so that when people are looking at who's in charge, they can actually feel inspired and they know that that person will do the right thing even in a tough situation. So in a nutshell, that's really like a checklist of what you need to create an effective team. And if you're having problems in your organization, this might be a good checklist to go through and just step by step say, what is it that we can't do effectively in this checklist? Now, let me share a story about the talent versus the teamwork in my own career. I think as a manager, probably the biggest mistake I made in my hiring, and I've hired hundreds of people in my life, was at first I think I was so focused on talent because that's what you hear in the Silicon Valley, realm is you got to hire the best developer, you got to hire the smartest person, and it's true. Of course, why wouldn't you want very talented people? But what I learned the hard way is that that's actually overrated. Of course, you need a baseline level of skill. That's why you want these competent team members. But really, if you're only optimizing for the talent and you're not looking at the character, you can create a very toxic environment where people are pitted against each other. One person always thinks they're right, or they're very arrogant, and that can have a very destructive effect on your team. So I think that the nutshell summary here is that it's important to look at all of these factors and not overweight the simple thing that is easy to do, which is to look at talent only. It's teamwork that really builds the best possible outcome for your organization.